Oh boy, a twofer, huh? Yep. So we went through most of the Echo Bridge films. The Day of the Living Dead was an Echo Bridge, Fallout was an Echo Bridge, Bucol was an Echo Bridge. I've got another Echo Bridge up here, but it's one of the better ones. Like how I mentioned Machine Gun Preacher, which was a better budgeted film that just went nowhere, but, you know, Gerard Butler was in it, had better, production quality, all that stuff. That's also stuff that Echo Bridge picks up, but that's another one of the films I've got up here that I still have to go through. Dark Was the Night, but, you know, we've got Timothy Oliphant in here, he's pretty good, Charlie Plummer, you got some good people in here, so we're gonna get to that another day. But in regards to films that are truly a dollar store experience, we've only got this one left to go. And we just watched this one the other day. Well, a couple days ago, really. I just stack these up and move them out to whenever I feel like getting to them. This is no longer an Echo Bridge film, though. We have Magnet here. And Magnet tends to make good stuff. I've got a lot of good Magnet films here. There's Mutant Chronicles I've got somewhere. There's also Magnet films. Get Centurion. We've got Black Death. We might go through those eventually. But we're here to talk about Stage Fright. Stage Fright. I did no research on this film. I didn't look anything up. I didn't look up who the director was. I didn't look up what films the director did. I just watched the movie and was pleasantly surprised. This is basically a twofer. You have Stage Fright here, and you also get The Legend of Beaver Dam. Here's the Stage Fright film right there, you go. But here's The Legend of Beaver Dam, another Magnet. It's not rated. This is basically like a 10-minute short film that just got packed into this. I didn't see it anywhere except right here. Only at Best Buy. Bonus disc containing award-winning short film, The Legend of Beaver Dam. Well, this was at the dollar store, not Best Buy, so I don't know. But hey, we got The Legend of Beaver Dam with this. That's very awesome. It's very cool. I watched The Legend of Beaver Dam first because I thought that one might actually be a low-budget pack-in to the main feature event, but I was pleasantly surprised in realizing that The Legend of Beaver Dam was better than Stage Fright in almost every way. It was so good. It was way better than I thought it had any right to be. And I really wished Stage Fright picked up that type of campy level of campy rock and metal that The Legend of Beaver Dam picked up. So what's The Legend of Beaver Dam about? It's about pretty much, how do I describe it, a summer camp? There's just a bunch of kids. It's not a Boy Scout, it's not a Girl Scout, because, you know, boys and girls are at this campfire. We've got the teacher who's singing campfire songs around a campfire. They're having a camp out, or whatever they call that word, whatever they call it, camp out, camping out, going out camping, whatever. They're sitting around the fire at night, and the teacher's telling ghost stories, and one of the kids is like raising his hand and trying to correct the campfire story guy, and the teacher is getting so pissed off at this guy, and all the cursing is it's just the teacher is cursing this kid out like crazy, so the kid walks away in shame, head hung low, and the teacher starts singing a campfire story about a killer, zombie, whatever guy, who is the Legend of Beaver Dam story, basically. He's singing the Legend of Beaver Dam story, and suddenly he is killed very gruesomely. And everything is in musical. There's no regular talking. Everything is in musical for this 7-minute short feature. Everything is in musical. So the guy dies in musical tones, and he's being brutalized. Red is everywhere. And suddenly all the students are screaming and crying. And then the kid who got cursed out by the teacher comes back to fight the monster of Beaver Dam. and the two just start going at it, and the kid just hacks the Legend of Beaver Dam monster to pieces, and the other kids, the surviving kids of the campfire story, start singing praise to this kid who used to be laughed and bullied, and now he's the hero of the story. And then the film ends. It's just amazing. 7 minutes pure bliss. I can understand how that was a award-winning short film. It was a short budget. I think this is one of the directors, since the director did both The Legend of Beaver Dam and Stage Fright. I think that was one of his first forays, and I think he should have kept that atmosphere from The Legend of Beaver Dam for the entirety of Stage Fright. There is some elements of The Legend of Beaver Dam you can find, the campiness, in Stage Fright. This is a horror musical comedy. I don't think I've ever seen a film quite like this outside of, say, maybe Sweeney Todd, or maybe Repo the Genetic Opera. This, though, takes it to a different type of level. In Repo the Genetic Opera and Sweeney Todd have a kind of professional, serial seriousness about it, you know. But this literally takes it to a parody level of absurd sometimes. You see this guy here, he's the killer. He is the metal killer. That's what they call him. I think enter the metal killer or something. Because whenever this guy comes onto screen, he sings metal music to metal backing music. And most of the rest of the songs in this movie are basically traditional, typical musical backing, whatever. But whenever this guy's on screen, he's like, screw that typical stuff. Let's get some metal up in here. And I love that. I wished that they had the entire film, the entire musicalness, with a rock / metal backdrop to it, and just go full ham. But only the first half or so is the typical, the typical musical type of thing. So basically, this girl and her brother are children of this famous play, dancer, singer, opera lady. And during the night of one of her performances for a copyright-friendly retitling of the Phantom of the Opera called The Ghost of the Opera, or something like that, The Haunting of the Opera, or something like that. During a performance of that, she is killed by some spoopy little dressed-up killer. And then 10 years later, the girl here and her brother, they're now grown up, they are cooks for a new art summer camp place. And this summer camp is basically for theater camp. It's basically a theater camp. But it's taken to major proportion. These are all band kids, theater kids, and everybody's breaking out into song randomly on the way to the camp, at the camp, all over the place. It's amazing. It's absurd in a lot of places, but it takes that absurdity to just good levels of entertainment. But it doesn't really do too much to level it away from a typical musical performance. It doesn't do too much to levy it away from that. So if you watch Moulin Rouge, if you watch Phantom of the Opera, the Schumacher version? The one with Gerard Butler. If you watch that one, or Moulin Rouge, that type of typical theatrical musical setup and all that stuff, it doesn't do too much to get away from that. It follows that. She auditions for the same part that her mother played because they're trying to do this same play again, and she wants to take part in it. And then suddenly people start to die because they think that this play is cursed and that there's a killer ghost or whatever haunting this play, and everybody taking part is starting to die. The director is brutally killed by the metal killer, and the first kill of the film, well, technically the second kill, but the first kill 10 years later after the time skip is by the metal killer, and the enter metal killer, the whole jingle is like 3 to 4 minutes of pure bliss. That opening segment with this guy introducing him and killing off the director who's trying to direct this play. It's just perfect. It's just really good. It's really good. Really good. Anything with the metal killer is really good. So, now that the director's gone, they try to bring in somebody else since the play's pretty much finished, and they have the backup stagehand or whatever try to keep everything together because the owner of the theater camp wants this to go through because he's going to get some sort of grant from a big-time theater dude so that he could pay off a bunch of his debts. He really wants this play to go forward. And then, as the play starts to officially perform in front of an actual audience, more and more stagehands start to die, one by one, as the metal killer goes crazy. He goes full ham. And it's beautiful. He then tracks down the owner of the theater camp, and then he proceeds to almost kill this guy until she interrupts the killing. And then she realizes that this guy, spoilers, is her brother in disguise. Her brother absolutely hates musicals. Her brother absolutely hates this theater camp stuff. That's why he does metal. He's a metal music fan. It's a parody of people who hate musicals, so he's the metal dude. He's a bit unhinged because he was the one who actually saw the owner of the theater camp kill their mother, and that he's been planning this revenge for a very long time. And she starts to allow this to happen, but then the theater guy kills the brother, and then she and the theater owner start to go at it until eventually she takes him out. And the movie ends kind of on a depressing note because I wanted to see more kills by the metal killer. I wanted to see more of that go through. But for what it was, a musical horror comedy, it did okay. It could have been a lot better. I do think that the Legend of Beaver Dam short was so much better. It was packed. It was compact. 7 minutes of just pure bliss. But they tried to stretch something like that out to like an hour and a half, and they really didn't have too much to go with there. They should have had more with the metal killer. They should have had a bigger body count. They should have had more to do. Just more of all of that glorious campy parody of the whole musical genre. Let that just go full ham. Let it loose, man. If you're gonna like parodize or comedize this whole type of genre, you gotta go full ham. Go full ham. Like you did with The Legend of Beaver Dam. Go full ham, and this would have been an amazing flick. This would have been an amazing film. Needless to say, I did enjoy myself watching this thing. But I do think it could have been a little bit better. I think it should have gone full ham with this metal killer and all that other stuff. I think it should have had a bigger body count and all that stuff. But for what I got, I was entertained. And I'm gonna say that this was worth the $1. I don't know how to end these things. Remember, be imaginative.